Just dropped boss baby off to school today. Now it's time to go do dad. Time to get my work day in. Good thing I work for myself, huh? I mean, yard it and stuff all morning. Of course, been up early. So, we're gonna go ahead and get everything going. One on it. This wants to act up as usual. So, you give me a second. I'm gonna pull over and tighten this stuff all up. It's always something, huh, boy? Guess I'll be doing my own shape up again. I guess what's the point of having a barber at the store if he ain't never there? Excuse me. You know, I know a lot of people got shit to say about what I do. I don't care. Till you walk inside my shoes, you can't say anything. Plus, I've come to grips with I'm the only person that has to look at me in the mirror every day. I'm inviting y'all into my life to see how I live and, you know, what brought me to this point, basically. You know, I try to focus on the positive and not the negative. You know, the whole point of this wasn't to, you know, make you cry or, you know, get pity or anything like that. It's just, like I said, it's an inside look at my life, and eventually we get to other single fathers as well who are doing their thing. Just some good ass ganja. I'm telling you. But also opens the creative part of my brain, the analytical part of my brain as well. I'll give you a clue, like my stuffed burgers wouldn't even exist if it wasn't for marijuana. Seriously. And yes, I'm gonna tell everybody now, marijuana is definitely a gateway drug. You heard it here from Aaron on Single Dad Life. Marijuana is a gateway drug. It leads you right to your refrigerator, right to your snack cabinet. That's what it does. So for all those weak-minded people who used to say, oh, it leads you to harder drugs, no, it doesn't. Leads your ass right to the gym because you done gained weight from snacks, took a lot of naps, depending on how you do it or what it's used for. So, whatever. God put this here for me and you. Take advantage, man. Take advantage. Duh. It's my movie. Friday. Yeah, but like I said, today is definitely going to be a good day. I send Josiah off on a positive note and tell him that he's awesome and he's going to win today and have a great day, and to focus on his schoolwork and learning and absorbing the information that his teacher gives him. Like I said, it'd be a lot better when I got my crew following me around and all that, so you guys can see this without my phone sliding down, because, you know, gotta go hands-free. It's a lot easier and everything to do. I mean, you guys know a little bit about me. Some of the trials and tribulations, you know, growing up, you know, molested as a 5-year-old by a woman. In and out of relationships, the lack of relationship that I have with my family and the support from them, feeling alone and all that, suffering from anxiety and depression, having to go from business life to dad life with all the issues I deal with going through business, and not to mention the different types of personalities and everything as a businessman that I have to deal with, when I feel as though I got 3 of them my damn self. You know what I mean? Oh, I do have to go to Walmart though. Wally World, and get a key made up for the store, tattoo shop, and all that. What else do I have to do? Guess I'll start off with that. Getting that key made. Shit. That I got a email to send out on the Single Dad Life series and all that. My proposal and everything, getting it picked up. Like I said, I can't wait to meet other single fathers that's doing their thing, that don't get the recognition that they should get. A lot of single moms do. And I don't have anything against that, you know, but it's a new day. It's not just single moms, single dads out there. And let's say for me, like I was telling y'all before, I don't get to go out and have fun or do none of that. And I honestly, not even really have fun. I mean like adult fun, you know what I mean? I have fun with Josiah all the time, you know. But like that adult fun, I honestly, like I said before, I don't even really remember how to go have adult fun. You know what I'm saying? If I was to be asked out on a date or something, or if she was to say, hey, Aaron, what do you do for fun? Damn. Nothing. Hang out with my son and all that stuff. As far as adult fun, nothing. If that's what you mean. If I'm by myself, nothing. I consider growing my business and, you know, getting a step closer to success every day. I consider that fun, because I don't consider it work, because it just seems so damn easy if you do the things you're supposed to do. But there are 2 types of people in this world. You have your A personalities and your B personalities. Look it up. I won't go into the definitions and all that shit, but look it up. It's 2 types of people in this world. Of course, your A, alpha, of course. Your alpha personalities. But like, an A personality can be a B personality and an A personality. But a B personality can never be an A personality. It can only be a B personality. Let that sink in. I know that's crazy and all, but let it sink in. And let me go ahead and move here to Walmart. Go this way. There go the tracks. Whoa. Saved at that time. But like I was saying, 2 types of personalities. And of course, I know you know what type of personality I am. It's no secret. think I got my own kind, you know what I mean? Above that A personality. Seriously. So maybe all three. Like I was telling y'all, today is definitely going to be a great day. I'm over a lot of things. I've realized that the things that were going on, I've always realized that no matter what I have going on and all that stuff, I definitely have to keep going because I'm all that Josiah has for real. Now, as far as his mom goes, I know you're probably wondering by now, like, what's going on with his mom and all that stuff. I'll tell you a little story about his mom real quick. Josiah was born in 2014. Back in 2013, 2014, I can honestly say that I had a real alcohol problem, honestly. And I mean, drinking. After work, I worked second shift. I worked at Dr. Pepper Snapple at Asper's, PA. And it was just me and Tatiana at the time. So I tried this little dating website, of course, you know, being all younger and all that shit. Just wanting to go fishing, get me some ass or something, somebody I can go ahead and smash, whatever. Because I'm single back then also. You know what I mean? In and out of relationships, all that. And, I mean, she was easy as hell. I should have took that as a... Started liking my pictures, all this shit, wanted to hang out, of course. So she comes over, we hang out, whatever. And we get all super blasted, like drunk out of my mind or whatever. So, you know, of course, one thing leads to another. She's on the pill and all this, so she says. Anyway. Well, she's on a pill. We had sex. And pretty much, we hung out probably one time after that or whatever. But that was that, you know. It was like, yeah, she's not for me. You know what I mean? I'm at work, putting away this Hawaiian Punch. It was a forklift driver, like I said, at Dr. Pepper. And she... kept texting me. I need to talk to you. Please call me. Blah, 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 blah. I don't believe her. I'm not calling her. You know what I mean? I really don't want anything to do with her. I never really thought that, you know, she was going to tell me she was pregnant till the last time she texted me. Then I'm like, okay. Like, it just hit me. Watch this bitch tell me that she's fucking pregnant. Sure enough, she tells me that she's pregnant. I'm the only one she's had sex with. Okay. Sure. Maybe I believed that shit at the time or whatever. I don't know. Even though Josiah does look a lot like me and his sister, Tatiana. It's funny because everybody thought that Josiah was Tatiana's baby. That's how much they look alike. That's crazy. And funny story, I remember when Josiah was born, we were on our way to the hospital, and Tatiana was so nervous. We're headed up to Lancaster, since I'm in Pennsylvania. I say Lancaster. I'm from Maryland. But we're headed up to Lancaster, whatever. Trying to make it there before he's born or whatever. Missed that. And she has him in a room. And as we're like probably halfway there, Tatiana decides to tell me, I'm gonna get sick, Dad. I don't feel good. And I'm like, what's going on? And boom, she just throws up all in the car. I said, isn't that a bitch? We had to turn around, go home. I wasn't cleaning that shit up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I love her to death, but I wasn't cleaning that shit up because what the fuck? I can't clean up vomit and then I'll vomit. If I smell it, I'm a vomit. If I see it, I'm a vomit. Oh my gosh. I almost vomited watching her projectile in the driver's seat of my car. In the passenger seat of the damn vehicle trying to get the window down. She went to put the window down and got it, like, it said, zzz, and she was just everywhere. Hit the window, all over. Oh my goodness gracious, nasty as hell. So we get home, clean that up real quick. She gets changed, all that, clean the seats, all that stuff, put the towel down. Then we head up there to Lancaster to finally meet my son and her brother. And, she's apologizing, and I'm trying to get to the bottom of it, like, what's wrong? Because, she's a teenager. And I'm like, this little girl might not be fucking pregnant or something like that. You know what I mean? First thing that pops into Dad's head. And she's like, oh, I'm just nervous, Dad. Blah, blah, blah. And I do realize that, paying attention to her and everything, she pretty much has what I have, but she's younger and didn't get diagnosed, so they put her on something different or whatever. I don't know what it is because, like I said, me and her as of right now don't have the best relationship or whatever due to the amount of disrespect that she displays as, being 22 years old, about to be 23, thinking she's an adult or whatever. But anyway, we meet, get up there, see Josiah, meet Josiah and all that. That boy has my heart, and, for a while, I'm not going to lie, like, my whole basis of everything, was to basically have my own family, due to, like I said, for years, I felt disrespected by my own family. Like I was saying before, got no emails for family functions or whatever, get treated like shit or whatever, treated like the black sheep or whatever of the family, which, I developed a tough skin, so, I'm not in my feelings about that or anything like that. And that's another reason why I feel alone. I don't feel as though I could call them and be like, oh, auntie or mom, Rosie, which I've never called my mom. She had me when she was 16, and I grew up before my grandmother passed away in Baltimore with my mom and my aunts and uncles. They called her Rosie. Her name's Rosalind. They called her Rosie. So I grew up calling my mom Rosie. I've never, ever called her mom. I'm sorry. I tried it once, and it just didn't work. Neither her or I liked it. It just was weird. You know what I mean? And it's weird because every day people be like, your son calls you by your first name? And it's crazy because, like, back then I felt like, they were my brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? And it was crazy also because my grandmother, God rest her soul, before she passed away, never let my mom do anything to me. I set the bathroom on fire. My mom tried to whip my ass. No, 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 no. I shit down the steps. And my mom tried to whip my ass. No, 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 no. And my aunt, Bonnie Deidre, had to clean that up. That's funny. We laugh about that when we did talk and all that. You know what I mean? But back to what I was saying, now, Josiah, I have him and his mom, like I said, she would be part of his life every now and again. Josiah basically lived with me. I gave her a chance, honestly, because I wanted my own family and I didn't want to have to deal with a bunch of relationships and all that stuff. I was done. So I was pretty much settling, Plus she was nasty. She did whatever I wanted, and she liked girls too. So I felt like, oh gosh, being younger, I'm winning, Can I have threesomes, all that stuff. She didn't care, At the time, wasn't thinking, But still, she was just live nasty, you know. And then her, you know, she had 2 other sons. One had autism, and not that I have anything against that. You know, I try with my business bring awareness to autism in April and everything, and since that is Autism Awareness Month, and you know, she just let him do whatever. This little dude was shitting all on the carpet up in the bedroom and all that, and screaming all the time and all that. Then she was filthy, you know, and just sat back and smoked cigarettes all damn day, you know, and goodness gracious, ew, she gotta go. She was there a good week. So she decided to take Josiah and all that, and at first I thought I wasn't going to see Josiah anymore, but, you know, not realizing, you know, how she really lived where up in, where is she, Reynolds or whatever, PA, and I actually never ever been inside her house. You know, I picked Josiah up from there a couple times and looked outside. I was like, oh, wow. You know, but never been in. Tatiana's been in, and she told me what it was. Then I got it from the caseworkers that always got called on her and everything. So Josiah lived with me, honestly, 90% of the time. You know, and every now and again, you know, she would get him whenever she wanted to. He would want to see his mom. Josiah wanted to live with his mom, honestly. That did hurt my feelings and all that stuff at the time, and it really bothered me. But it was like, okay, you know, but he still stayed with me and got to see her when she had the time to see him or whatever. And even when we would go week on, week off or whatever. We started like that, then she dropped to the weekends, and then every other weekend, and then vanished. Then that's when he was with me and all that stuff. You know, he complained of getting hit by the babysitter there, and I didn't know at the time that his older brother there was molesting him. And, you know, my youngest son's mom, she worked with kids and all that, and Josiah Marley was in a bathtub, and, you know, she brought that to my attention. She goes, something has to be going on when he goes there to his mom's house, because Josiah does this, that, and a third. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't want to believe it. So, you know, but I sit Josiah down on the couch one day, and we're talking, and he's playing his little game, and I'm just nonchalant. I'm like, hey, Josiah, when you're at your mom's house, does anybody touch you in places that, you know, are private and they're not supposed to touch you? And in one breath, this little boy goes, yeah. Oh my gosh. As a father, I wanted to blow up and be like, what the hell, who? Blah, blah, blah. But I knew that if I did that, I would not be able to get to the bottom of it. So the flame is burning inside me. And I said, oh yeah? I said, who? He goes, Jacob. I goes, what? I said, what does he do? You know, I mean, did you tell your mom? He goes, no. He told me not to. I said, oh, so where's he touch you? My private. Oh. Not to mention, you know, she just had child services called on her and all that. They contact me, have to see how I live, and I mean, they're in my house a good 30 seconds. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. I'm like, he lives with me most of the time. So I call his mom. Josiah's listening. I go, Mary, you know, Josiah said that Jacob touches him. And Josiah goes, yeah. And she just starts crying. You know, we go through all this, and she has to tell the people and all that. So we have to go to this meeting, and they interview us both, you know, separately. Well, at the same time, basically, and then have Josiah out of the room, and they're talking to him. And they interviewed her oldest son later on and everything. And what kills me is that myself and Tatiana had asked Josiah different ways numerous times about that situation, and he kept saying the same thing. and he was 4. I'm sorry, at 4, you really don't know how to lie without it being caught by the parent. You know, like, come on. They're 4. No parent gets out slicked by a 4-year-old unless it comes to like juice and snacks or, you know, something like that, or doing something, you know what I mean, you give in to them. But like that kind of shit, no way. You know, so we're in there getting interviewed and they're asking us questions like, have you ever been molested or this, that, and the third? And at the time when it happened to me, I never, you know, I didn't think of it. That never popped into my head because I was so focused on Josiah being touched by his older brother, and he's there, and I know that Mary never really kept an eye on him because every time he came back from there, he had a patch in his hair from the clippers that he got from out of the trash. He have a burn on his neck from the flat iron. He have a burn on his arm from the grill. I mean, come on, this little boy set the neighbor's house on fire. They put him in this little psychiatric thing with the TV in the cage. Josiah thought he was in jail. Wow. Josiah's been through a lot, so I really handle him with kid gloves. I try to anyway, and my job is to protect him, you know. And so with all this going on, you know, they come to the conclusion after everything. Oh, I'm sorry, when they're asking about the questions about being molested and being this, that, and the third group touched and all this other stuff they ask, you know, pretty much all my answers were no, 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 no. They get to Mary and she's crying. And everything they ask her, yes, her uncle was molested her, this, that, and the third, and she was raped, and oh my goodness gracious, this is things that I never, ever, ever, ever knew. So, which definitely led me to believe that you definitely got to get to know somebody for real before you go ahead and give them your all and all that. And that's what I'm pretty much guilty of with everything. And you know, now I'm a salesman, I get good vibes on people and all that, and a lot of people put their foot forward. And you know, having that lack of love from family and all that stuff, you know, you want to say get through a little bit of the screening process and all that, I usually fall. I fall hard, but like I gave that up, you know, for now anyway. But anyway, so all this stuff's happened to her, and she's actually crying. So wow, leaves the room, everything. So they interview Josiah, and of course he says the same thing. The specialist isn't allowed to tell us what he said, but I mean, come on, we know what Josiah said. And they came to the conclusion, basically, when they finished their investigation, that, you know, she could still get visitation and all that, but it has to be supervised. So, you know, December 3rd, 2018, you know, Mary and I mean, for some reason, aren't getting along. I don't know. She has another child. This dude then beat her up. She sent him to prison, all this stuff like that. I don't know what's going on with her because I don't really communicate with her. And Josiah's been with me. He'll go there every now and again. And then it started giving me a bunch of attitude and lip, like I'm supposed to put up with that when I do everything for him. Don't ask her for a fucking dime. Don't do the child support thing with him or whatever, because she don't have it anyway. And at the time, she was taking care of her aunt, all this stuff, and basically her brother who was lazy, and then her kids who lived there but lived with their dads as well, because she had 4, I don't know, 5 kids. I don't know, it's fucking track or whatever. But like, nobody has even really heard from her. I mean, I know when December 3rd, 2018, she decides to go to the YMCA in Dover and snatch Josiah out of school, which pissed me off, made a scene, everything. I'm at work at Hanover Honda, which is like a half an hour away. Made a scene, everything, and Mind you, she's not even on the card to pick him up. And they still let her take him out of there. Left his book bag, left everything. So the last time I seen him was that morning, dropping him off for school, telling him that I love him, all that stuff. And we were going to the adrenaline bounce house place after school and all that stuff because I had 2 car sales lined up. I was going to have them done by 3 o'clock, get Josiah, and we're off. And this woman comes there, makes a scene, and the YMCA in Dover, which I will not even go back to at all, and let them take him out of there. Made a big scene, she went up there making it seem like I'm the big bad wolf, all this stuff. And, oh, I abuse Josiah. I do this, that, and a third. Not to mention that we haven't even spoken. You know what I mean? And at the time, me and Tatiana aren't talking. And Tatiana had a lot to do with that as well. She helped her out and getting Josiah from out of my life just because she didn't like me. The person who raised her, sacrificed everything for her, you know. And her biggest thing was, I knew what it was. She was ready to move in with her little boyfriend or whatever, and I wasn't going for it, and she knew I wasn't going to go for it. So she came at me a different way, and that didn't hit me till later on and all that stuff, but I knew what it was. So and it all made sense. But for her to attack me again like that and really put her brother in a fucked up situation, maybe because number one, this woman couldn't keep a job, has no job skills, probably brings home about $200, if that, a fucking month, and gets food stamps and all that stuff, and is more worried about going out drinking and fucking and all that stuff as opposed to raising your kids. Wow. Not to mention that when child protective services and all that go in the house, I mean, she's got dog shit all throughout the house. Who the fuck lets the dog shit in the house and just leave it there? Come the fuck on. That is some filthy shit. So Josiah lives there, and you know, I contact everybody I could, and of course it was, oh, we don't get involved in the police, we don't get involved and all that. And if I went up there to get Josiah, I looked like the fucking aggressor, you know. So I had to try and do the custody thing, which I didn't have the money for, trying to pay bills where I live, all that stuff. So I needed a place for him and everything. And, you know, she wouldn't even let me talk to him. Made it seem like, you know, I was really abusing him and putting him all up in therapy, psychiatric shit and all that, putting him on meds, all that. That boy was 4 years old. What? Her main purpose was to get a fucking check off Josiah because she didn't have her other kids. Unfucking believable. How lazy can you fucking be? And not just that, but like, you don't have the means nor the room. They lived in a 2-bedroom house with her aunt, who was like 500 pounds, never left the bedroom, herself, her brother Wally, who was another 300-pounder who never left the basement, and about 12 animals, and her son Jacob, and would get visitation with her other son, who would always bite Josiah, hit Josiah. Not to mention, who knows where the fuck they slept at and everything, but I know Josiah had a bed. Couldn't even sleep in it because the fucking dogs would come up and shit on him while he was sleeping. What kind of shit is that? I swear on everything that I love that I would never let my little man go through anything like that again. They would have to take me off of this fucking planet. And that is 100% the fucking truth. So, the pandemic hit. I'm getting this store going, everything, trying to get this money together to see Josiah and miss birthdays, all that shit. He wasn't Christmas. He wasn't even getting anything. And I didn't even know none of this. Nobody kept me updated. I wasn't allowed to talk to him. Every time I talked to him, you know, she started an argument, blocked my number, all this shit, called the police on me, and then they're looking at harassing me and all this shit. What? I'm black, she's white. Go figure. It is what it is. I dealt with that. So, before Easter 2020, my daughter and I started speaking again because she had my grandson, Kyer. And I forgot how we started speaking. Oh, my sister was just like, Aaron, you need to talk to your daughter and all that. And, you know, throughout the whole time we weren't speaking, I would have these reoccurring nightmares of me and her arguing and fighting all the time. And I would wake up just screaming and just like crying, really sad as fuck. Just wondering what she was doing, but always knew that she was all hot-headed because she's me. You know, all hot-headed and all that shit. And I didn't want to go through the shit at the time. But at the time, she had my grandson, so fuck it. And when I reached out, we both apologized to each other and was crying and everything. And then she instantly started telling me about Josiah. And for a second, and my thing was this. Mary let Josiah go over to Tatiana's house on the weekends and everything so she can go chase dick and be a whore. So, I was already plotting because since there was no custody agreement in place, and you know where I'm going with this. There was no custody agreement in place, and nobody could really do anything because I'm his father and could prove it. So Tatiana pretty much set Mary up, as she pretty much should have, because a lot of it was her fucking fault anyway, and was like, oh yeah, Josiah can spend a weekend over here. So as soon as Mary dropped Josiah off and left, I was 2 minutes out and went and picked up Josiah, Tatiana, and Kyer and actually stayed the weekend at my house, whatever, but Josiah wasn't going back anyway. And at the time, I didn't realize that Tatiana was going to end up staying, but she ended up staying for damn near a year. And then even brought along Darius, you know, and which is a whole nother story. Like I said, y'all heard skits on that shit a little bit, but which is a whole nother story, you know what I mean? And when I seen Josiah, it was hot. He had on a pair of wool pajamas pants, sweat jacket, pink t-shirt, some raggedy ass shoes that was his brother's, no socks, no underwear, head looking a whole fucking mess, and he was on his medication, so he was a fucking zombie. At first didn't even recognize me. Do you know, when he finally recognized me, gave me a hug, hasn't seen me in over a year, gave me a fucking hug, got in the car like, oh, nonchalant, wasn't that energetic, you know, Josiah that you guys see now, or that I was used to. When he got in the car, Tatiana got in the car, and she buckled Kyer in the car. I had to walk down the street and go around the corner because I had to fucking cry. I couldn't believe how she had my son, how he was living. And it was all right. These people from the state allowed this shit. Y'all are pieces of shit. Then when a black man comes along and tries to do his thing, y'all want to give me a hard fucking time? Fuck y'all. That's why I do what I fucking do and grind, and I say fuck y'all. 100, because this system is built for fucking women. For real. Especially when it comes to this fucking parenting and fucking white people. Real shit. And I don't mean no disrespect by it at all. But everybody knows what it is. And that's why that fucking blindfold is on Lady Justice. Let's get behind the real meaning of that fucking blindfold. Anyway, so Josiah's back. I get back in the car, pull myself together back in the car. I already have gifts at the house for him because his birthday was shit. And I just redid his birthday and everything. You know, had his medicine, everything. Didn't even give it to him. Gave it to him. I kept it just in case he would have fucking had some type of fucking reaction, or he needed it, or, you know, whatever, some type of a meltdown. But it just started. And what's so funny is that when COVID hit, she was supposed to go to that appointment where she was actually going to get a paycheck from him. Thank you, COVID-19. Because after that appointment was canceled and pushed back to a later date, and Zoom wasn't popping yet. So that worked out. God definitely works in mysterious ways, but hey, I'm blessed, and I have my guardian angel watching over me. So ever since, Boss Baby's been with me. And Mary actually, that Sunday when she thought she was picking up Josiah from Tatiana, and Tatiana was at my house, she actually told him that, oh, I seen my dad in Walmart and he came and Josiah wanted to go with him. Mary was sick to her stomach. She started calling everybody. This bitch actually put out an Amber Alert on something on Facebook saying, and his picture saying that he was kidnapped by his dad and all this stuff, and it had all these fucking shares and sad faces and comments and all that shit. And then people started thinking like, okay, where's the Amber Alert? Isn't he his father? How is he kidnapped by his father? And then she even called the police. And do you know that the West Manchester police called me and told me, I'm sorry, they messaged me on fucking Facebook and said, Aaron, you need to call me ASAP concerning Josiah or whatever. And I'm like, hold up. So y'all would get involved when this white woman calls y'all with no custody agreement. But when she snatched him out of school, not even on a card, when he was comfortable in his house and all that shit, and I said something, y'all didn't get involved. Fuck y'all too. Because of y'all, Josiah went through a whole bunch of shit. That's another reason why I don't fuck with y'all. But anyway, I was like, fuck you, fuck no. It's, there's no custody agreement, you don't get involved. So peace out and don't fucking bother me again. Fucking eventually everybody, couple people that knew me, knew Josiah, knew Tatiana and all that, knew how he was with me and how he lived with me, started saying that post was false, it was fake, all that shit. So it got reported. So eventually she got deleted and all this shit. You know what I mean? But first, I'm a business owner. You try to make me look bad? Come on. That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. And then you try to make it look like I'm the nigga who done wrong. He couldn't even sleep in his bed, bitch. Anyway, I'm here at Walmart. But, well, I'm sorry. Let me go back. He's back home now. Like I said, y'all know, y'all see him. And y'all see how happy he is. Nobody knows where his mom is. She hasn't tried to contact him or anything. And I don't give a shit. And you know what's funny? He hasn't asked about her one time. Not once. You know, really, at that age, a child is going to ask about mom or want to see mom. Boss Baby has not asked about her one fucking time. And we'll end that on that note. I'm going to head up in here, do my thing, and I will see y'all in a little bit.